Hello everyone, my name is Louis and today I'm gonna talk about Chinese culture. In the beginnings of this class, Professor Liu ever asked us about what comfort in our mind when we talk about Chinese culture. I remember my answer was food. And yeah, I think when we talk about culture, food is the easy way for us to understand about a new culture. So I did a research on Google and suddenly I know this book named The Culture of China by Kathleen Cooper. To be honest, this book have a lot of chapters, so I chose to read chapter 2 that is about the Chinese cuisine. Kathleen Cooper was the senior editor, arts and culture for the organization called I cannot spell this organization, but you can see the name right here. And she also added this for the Merriam-Webster something. Oh my god, I cannot read it. I cannot spell it. But this is really difficult for me to find some information about her. That is, first, we're gonna talk about the Chinese cuisine inside. Something like Chinese food special that is like Chinese cuisine, like Chinese philosophy, is organized along down its principle of opposition and change. It's like hot balanced by cold, spicy by mild. And also the theory of balancing rains and rice with side, vegetable and meat is one of the factors that distinguishes Chinese gastronomy from that of other nations. And rice is a staple except in the north, where wheat flour takes its place. The Chinese traditionally season their dishes with monosodium glutamate and soybean sauce. Rather than salt, the Chinese take tea with their meals, whether green or fermented. That is kind of true because the way they season the food gonna represent where the food comes from. Like in my country, we usually use the fish sauce, or in Thailand, they usually use the sweet sauce to put in their food. And Chinese, of course, like I consider food is like an art because it's really hard to make a food, and also there's so many things that I mean, it's not like food is just to eat. Food is like to enjoy, and we live to eat, not eat to live, right? So, for the cooking in Chinese, they also have some school that represent the specific thing in their area. It's like in Beijing, they have the Peking duck, which is my favorite thing. And also they have another foreign school for cooking like Xizhou, Puxiang, Guangdong, Zhejiang, and Jiangsu. Excuse me because I cannot speak Chinese well, so I'm not sure if I spell the area good. Forgive me for that. And yeah, in some area they have something special, like in Pujiang. The seasoning are usually lightly emphasize the freshness of ingredients, or in Sichuan, the cooking in Sichuan is like they use the hot peppers. I was not really surprised because like I have time live in Australia, and I live in nearby the Chinatown, and I was just so surprised for the first time because like they put a lot of oil and also chili pepper in their food. But right now I got it. That is just when I see some dish with a lot of oil or chili, I gonna know that it's Chinese food. And yeah, there's something special that I read from the book, because sometimes we, as I said above, like food is not just to eat. That is how we appreciate that. We appreciate the food. Confucius brought on one of the eaters. Like for him, the rice could never be white enough. When it was not cooked right, he could not eat. When the foods were not in season, he could not eat. And when the meat were not cut correctly, he could not eat. And when the food were not served in the proper sauce, he could not eat. Um, it is just like when we eat the sushi, we're gonna use that with the soy sauce. Something like that. That is just like how we appreciate that. How we appreciate our own culture. It's like in our culture, we're gonna use the chopstick. In Western culture, they use fork and spoon. That is the way we appreciate our own culture, by the way we're eating. And last but not least, why I choose food. Honestly, China is a country with a long history, and food has played an important role in the development of Chinese culture. Every years have every year many traditional festival and events are celebrated with special food. I find it out. This is the year cake, and this is the moon cake for the Miss Autumn Festival. And I believe that food is not just food. It reminds us about the history of our hometown. And from this book, I can see the difference in the way cooking in different cities in China. And that reflects the characteristic of different city province in China. Therefore, I can see how China food is special compared to food from other nations. That is so true, because my hometown is really near the beach, and in in my my rate grandparent period's time, I'm talking about the old generation. They have fish as the main meat they have. It's just like a lot of that, and they, like the fish have to be dyed. So the way they make to keep the fish, that is they season the fish with the salt and keep it for a long time. And then we have the food called the dyed body fish. That's kind of weird, but it tastes so good. And everybody know about my hometown by that food. And yeah, that's it. I know, like, it's really funny to discover the culture through the food. When we talk about dumpling, we're gonna know that it's China. When we talk about pho, we know that it's Vietnamese food. When we talk about sushi, that definitely Japanese food. And yeah, thank you so much. Let's to share. Let's go eat Peking duck with me.